doesn't want to. She doesn't want to attack the choice.
But should Neda Manua be commentating as a man? Should he be? I mean, obviously he's going to say yes to it because it's an offer. It's a commercial offer, and he accepts it. But should he be there, quite prominent in a pundit panel, commenting on what he sees in a women's final? Should Ian Wright have been there? Did you not? You had a punditry.
Well, many years ago, yes, when ladies football was being sort of introduced again, I was actually, I was heading that up.
Did you feel there was an eligibility issue there? Were you qualified to talk about women's football?
I actually saw it as an honour that they felt that I could come in from the men's game and just offer us something a little bit different.
So if we take these two guys out, the assumption in her mind is that she'd be a shoo-in for that position. I think she might want to have a look at a body of work and think that actually, even if there were spaces were available on those two men that were there, and I think she has a point. Why is there a necessity in women's football to have men commenting on the game?
But I think when the game develops, Simon, when it develops, I think we will see an all women.
I hope so. I hope that we see all women owners. I hope that we see all women chairmen chairpersons, because I think ultimately that's what the game requires. And that's what it should have, and that's what they should want to have. All these women that want women's football to be successful and women's sports to be successful, let's start seeing some investment from the...
There needs to be some patience. I mean, when was it introduced, professionalism? 2011? That sort of time, the WSL. So, for that side of it, the broadcasting side of it, it will be in place. You watch the highlights now on BBC, it's pretty well all women that are involved in the game, Jim, broadcasting. And by the time we get to the major tournaments in a few years' time, we've won 2 European championships now, the England national team, then rightfully so, these women will go into these positions. But once it's sort of like it's had its handheld a little bit to come into mainstream, then we've had men around the game. Ian Wright's been one of those.
Well, we talk about the success of the women's international side, which far eclipses ours. So it's on its own feet now. We talk about these broadcasters that constantly tell us how important the women's game is and constantly tell us about patronising that particular sport, the BBC being the particular flag waver for that. Why do you need men in the studio then? You don't. Patronise these women. I agree with Eni. My question then would be, on what basis? Because you paid 170 times for England, you can barely hold a sentence together, you should be ultimately in the studio. Is that what we're talking about?
You've got to be good at your
170
job.
times.
Yeah, ultimately you've got to be good at your job, haven't you? It's not what you did on the football pitch.
I think so.
Only gives you
but
so
Eni's
much
argument
life.
is it is what you did in the football pitch. Farrah Williams was sitting beside her, 170 caps for England. Something ridiculous.
Well, Farrah probably had a strong case for that.
And she says that she's the most capped player and she's sat in the stands.
And now